Did you know that this year it's expected that 60% of internet users will rely on voice search for their online queries? And that is just the tip of the iceberg on what is coming through this year for digital marketing trends for business growth. I'm going to share with you the things that actually matter because I know you get so overwhelmed with how fast the online space, the digital marketing space can change. So, the last thing I want is for this episode to overwhelm you. The goal here is for you to make shifts and be able to refine and get clarity on what to prioritize and what to let go of, because we can't be doing all the things. I don't want you to. It's all about making more and working less here. We all know that. So let's get clear. Let's get focused on what is going to make us the most coin in 2024. If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash making advice. Now let's get to it. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your relationships, your abundance, and everything in between. Welcome to 2024, bitches. We are going to be ballers. We're going to bring in that cash, and we're going to do it in a way that we've never done it before, with the most ease, with the most joy, and the most intention that we've ever done it in. And therefore, we are going to have the biggest cash flow that we've ever seen. That's what's going on. Okay. And we have no room for anything less than that. So I'm going to concentrate on the trends here that you want to jump on that ride. Some of this stuff that you'll hear, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of content out there from people. This has changed. That has changed. Do hashtags. Don't do this. Do videos this long. Posting times matter. Posting times don't matter. Have an email list. Grow an email list. Do Pinterest. You need to cut out the noise. That's the first thing I'm going to tell you. That is my best gift to you. Cut out the noise that is going on. Pick your very, very selected inner circle of experts that you follow, right? For mindset, for health, for business, for digital marketing, and then mute the rest or let go of the rest. And I hope to God I make the cut. All right. I hope I do. And you should be using this week, if you haven't done it already, to unfollow, train your algorithm, both mentally and literally, of what you want to see more of. Again, I know how easily overwhelmed you get with that overthinking, overanalyzing brain that goes a million miles per hour, and how quickly we can get stuck. And we're doing things differently now. We're not going to feed in to that wild monster. And we do not have to be on all the things and all the places at all the times and give more, more, more in order to receive more, more, more. That's outdated programming. It's simply not true, and it's not sustainable. Just like I don't have to spend 2 hours doing cardio a day in order to be healthy, right? That's not sustainable. What's also not sustainable would be me not eating carbs. And I'm just not available for that life. Not going to happen. I'm sure I tried it at some point, along with, I tried, what was that stuff called? It caused anal leakage. I'm spacing out on the name, but I did try that. We had an incident. I went to Palm Desert with a boyfriend, and at brunch, and I felt something warm entering my inner thigh area, and I was wearing a white dress. And it was the oils of the fat blocker I was taking. Does anyone remember these ridiculous drugs? And my point in sharing this really embarrassing story is we've all done stupid shit and bought into the hype and followed this and zigged and zagged, and it never ends well. It never works. Following a concrete, proven plan where there's not some get rich quick, get skinny quick, anything quick, fast. None of that stuff ever pays off. Think about it. None of it ever works in the long run. And if you truly want a business that impacts millions of lives, thousands of lives, that generates multiple sources of income for you, that creates that freedom, that option level cash and lifestyle that I know that you want, you've got to trust me on this. This is the play. Now, I'm a type C person. I used to call myself type Z for lazy, which is actually still kind of true, but we don't need to keep calling myself lazy. It's like, then it just makes me probably lazier, right? So I'm type C for chill. I'm not available for being busy and doing all the things all the time. I'm not impressed whatsoever with anyone who's busy. I'm actually impressed with my neighbor who I see trimming hedges with a small pair of scissors on 2 p.m. on a Thursday, wearing his pajamas because he delights in it. That's what. Living in a multi-million-dollar house with an incredible ocean view and happy children and a lovely wife. That's what we're about here. So here's some interesting facts and stats I've pulled because I'm all about giving you guys the receipts. All right. So social commerce is slated to explode this year, even more than ever. And this is in all industries, service-based industries, creative, product-based businesses, all of it. Healing, coaching, you name it. The projections are indicating you guys are going to shit. A staggering 85% increase in purchases made through social media platforms by the year end. So any of you who told yourself my industry is already too saturated, online's played out, social media's played out, I came in too late for this, that, and the other, that is not fact-based. That's you making up a story. Now, if you have a bunch of facts to back that up, you and I can have a discussion about it. My guess is you don't. So that's why I'm feeding your brain these right now. So here's another interesting fact that will make your jaw drop. AI-powered content creation is set to surpass human-generated content in engagement by a whopping 75% within the next 12 months. Now, I have some thoughts on AI, some very strong thoughts. I am sourcing a guest right now to bring on so we can have a very helpful and productive, honest conversation about AI. So I want you to hear this, okay? Because I don't want you to screw yourself with this, because this could be like a shortcut that makes you go to Broketown, USA, okay? So there's a way to use it and a way not to use it. So I want you to grab your notepad. I want you to get in the mindset right now, whatever you're doing, that this stuff is going to bring home the big dollars. And now I know what to zone in on. I have some strong clarity right off the bat in 2024. All right. So let's start with this AI stuff, okay? Because this is obviously a trending topic. You probably tried ChatGPT, messed around with it. If you haven't, I want you to, okay? And like, you can even do it just for fun. One of my favorite things to do on there is to ask it to create a song around your animal. So I'm like, create a fun song around my dog Chubbs and how he's squishy with a big butt and the cutest dog ever. And then it'll create a song for you. It's hysterical. So like, even mess around with it that way and you will quickly see the power of all of it. So businesses are obviously already leveraging AI powered personalization and marketing. Okay. There's going to be a 50 to 20% increase in customer engagement and conversions with using AI properly. What I want you to, number one, be careful of is it can be tempting to say, I'm going to have AI write all of my social media captions. I'm going to have AI write all my sales pages. I'm going to have AI write all of my ebooks. I'm going to have AI do everything. Where is this rooted from within you? Because there's one side where we're being smart and efficient, but there's another side where we're trying to cut corners and not do the work and avoid having genuine, true connection with our people and trying to take a shortcut. You have to be careful with it. People can feel it. If you can feel it when there's a chat bot coming into your DMs, if you can feel it when you're getting bots sending you text messages, when you start reading someone's email, when you start reading someone's social media posts, or you do a ebook and you're like, it falls flat. This is a computer doing this. So it is void of emotion. It is void of energy. Yes, you can have it insert emotion. There's a lot of things you can train it to do, but it can't tell your stories. It's not going to pick up your vernacular perfectly and your little quips and your sarcasm and all the made up words that I use. And why would you want it to? I don't want it to. Now, there's ways to leverage AI, right, for content ideas, for titles of things like brainstorming. I think that's excellent. There are some types of tasks where you can use it, where it's just like you're doing factual stuff. You're not actually writing like emotionally compelling and connecting copy. But just be very careful. Like you can even use it kind of as a template, as a starter, but then you're going to need to go in and heavily edit it because now what's happened? Where's this intellectual property of yours? No one is going to be able to replace your voice, not even a robot. Now, can it get eerily close, scary close? It sure can. But remember, if you're someone who can feel it, where something feels flat, you don't feel as connected, someone's tone is kind of changed in their content and it's not how it used to be. If you're picking up on that, don't think for a second your ideal client is not picking up on that. Okay. But there are tons of different platforms and programs that you can Google where it can help you with video editing. It can help you create images. And I absolutely think that's great to have it help you with those tasks. So let's talk about this next thing, this voice search dominance. So this is set to account for more than 50% of all online searches. So the SEO strategies to focus on are conversational and long tail keywords. I'm going to explain what that means. I've been teaching this for a long time. It's just getting more and more and more important. So, you know how when you've temporarily lost your mind or you're in a jam with something and the crazy shit you type into Google, like, how can you tell if someone is a narcissist or a covert narcissist? The difference between a narcissist and a sociopath. How many of you type that in? Or you are putting stuff in, like my ideal client would put stuff in like, how can I grow quickly on social media with doing as little work as possible and having easy content ideas? This was from my ass. That wasn't a very good one. That's what I mean by long tail conversational. You are writing as you think, which actually should make things easier for you, not the polished and perfect and school version of you, or even like the corporate writing version of you, the proper writing, but conversational writing. exactly how people think and how they type stuff into Google or how they type in things in search inside TikTok, inside Instagram, inside YouTube. I want you to use those words and phrases in your videos and in your captions, on your podcasts, in your emails, on your things. So you can keep a running notes app of all of these phrases. And generally, we use very similar phrases over and over and over again. Like, let's say we use an example of someone who feels like they're having hormone issues, right? What could be the cause of my brain fog? Is it low estrogen or low progesterone, or is it something else? You see what I'm saying? Like when I was looking for someone to help me set up my in-person podcast studio, which I am still, by the way, searching and sourcing for someone. So I would type into like Instagram podcast studio. I would type in-person podcast studio, in-person studio, maybe podcasting location Los Angeles. So you need to look at your own behaviors or put yourself in your ideal client's shoes and see what they would be Googling and what they would be typing into search. And you want to make a point of matching those things. Or what would you say to, is it Alexa? I still don't have one, by the way, and I don't care. That's not to say I won't get one. I don't use Siri either. I'm not into it. I talk enough as it is. I'm tired of myself. I can type. It's okay. Like I'm sure at some point it'll be sophisticated enough where I find it exceeds the benefits, but I don't have it, but I'm well aware that almost everyone I talk to, anyone I'm coaching is saying, Alexa, turn on the lights, turn on this song, turn off the music, remind me at 6 o'clock, I need to go to the store. This is happening. All right. Video content supremacy. Is it supremacy? Supremacy. I have no idea, but we're going to go with it. Whichever way you say it, tomato, tomato. Again, I have been saying this for a long time, but now it is even more vital. Video content consumption is expected to comprise over 80% of all internet traffic this year. Did you hear that? Signaling a paradigm shift towards video-centric marketing strategies. If you're in my ProjectME Posse business coaching membership, you know that I have a special 4-part series all on this. So you basically have the actual playbook of how to do this in a simple and straightforward way for any type of business. If you're not in my posse, I don't know what's going on with you. I feel like we have a few new member spots that are open right now. I hope I'm not saying that incorrectly. The page will tell you if it's closed. And if it's not, it'll be open for you to sign up. And it's projectmewithtiffany.com/projectme posse. And I will make sure that's also in the show notes here, because knowing this information I'm giving you today absolutely means nothing unless you're implementing this information and have the accountability to do it. And you're implementing it on repeat with patterns and consistency, and don't take your foot off the gas when you don't see these immediate results or when you get uncomfortable or vulnerable. And the reason why video is where the coin is at is because I would even say 99% of people, small business owners, personal brands, specialists, they won't really dive into the video. Why? Very vulnerable. It brings up a whole lot of stuff. It's a weird thing. And I'm an expert in teaching that, but mixing it with strategy. Just putting videos of yourself up there talking or of yourself working with text over it or some shit, that by itself isn't going to convert. You actually do have to have strategy behind it. But there's a lot of mindset stuff that goes on. And my private clients can attest for that who are listening to this episode. Once we get to the point in my 2-month program where we are executing, you are creating the things and you're sending them to me first, right? So I can say, like, this is great. You do need to reshoot it. You don't need to reshoot it. This is what we need to work on, because people don't want to embarrass themselves. I wish I had someone I could have sent it to. I just had to run with it. But I'm also well aware, I have a background as a TV newscaster. So I already have a comfortability on camera, but that comfortability came from many years of me doing it. You can have the same comfortability, but it's on the other side of you being wildly uncomfortable and doing it over and over again. It is really strange. You're looking at yourself. We can be very self-critical. Most of us hate our voices. I was bullied for my voice, and now I make millions of dollars with it. But not doing video and having a video content strategy, you are going to pay a big price in lost revenue, and you're going to end up getting left behind. And then on the other side, the potential upside is insane, because like I said, most people won't do it consistently because they get so uncomfortable and so in their head and so filled with self-judgment, and don't hire someone like myself to make the process easier and have support and accountability. And then they won't fucking do it. And I don't want you doing that. Not on my watch. So at the very least, you need to get into the damn posse and not go, what do I need to talk about? What should I say? How do I start it? How long, Tiffany? Where do I put this? Does this go on TikTok? Does this go on YouTube Shorts? Does this go on Instagram Stories? Is this a reel? I go through all of it and cut out all the noise for you. That is exactly what that membership's intended to do. And it's $3.33 a day. So there you go. People are obsessed with the posse. If you want to see the testimonials from that, there's a highlight on my Instagram called ProjectME Posse. There's probably 3 of them. There are hundreds of testimonials that are very specific, and you'll see the actual quantifiable results from people showing up and following through in there. So direct purchases through social media are estimated to have a 60 to 70% increase. So people are going to be purchasing more so through social media than by going to, like, let's just say like a Nordstrom.com, like going to the actual manufacturer's website. Or let's say it's a favorite beauty brand. Like I love Rihanna's Fenty brand. It's like instead of going to Fenty.com, they're buying through an influencer who's using it and talking about it and showing the product, or they're buying it right through like Fenty's actual page. Almost all of my sales, I'm talking a solid 92%, are all through my podcast and social media. Period. End of story. People aren't finding you through your website unless you have a giant brand and you're running major ads. They're not finding you in there. I'm not saying not to have a website, but there's a reason I have not made refreshing, which it's needed, and that's happening now, but refreshing my website, I've not made it a priority because it wasn't an income generating activity. Now I can make it more of a priority, but I use actual various landing pages for my things. So I have different microsites that you take people to versus constantly updating this main site. It's really a validator for your brand more than anything else. So here's where we're going next, because I'm being very cautious about not overwhelming you. So I'm going to give you one more thing. That's a lie. One more thing, and then a bonus rant. Hyper-personalization. My emotional-based sales techniques that I'm famous for finally are catching on. Well, I think it's wild. I've been doing this all along. This is why I've made so much money. This is why I've made hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue for companies of all sizes, small business owners to multi-billion-dollar businesses. And I've brought in tens of millions myself. It's tailoring your marketing messages with a hyper-personalization. It will yield a 30 to 40% increase in customer retention and loyalty and sales, where they know you're talking to them That's why, whether you're a new listener or a longtime listener, I know once someone finds this show and listens and they're my people, you're a fellow crazy, you can't get enough because you know I'm talking to you because I am, because I give a fuck and I am you because like attracts like. And I hyper personalize the show so that it's intimate and it's direct and it goes right into that wild, insane brain of yours that I understand so well. You can't keep talking to everyone because you want to appeal to everyone because you feel like I don't want to exclude anyone because I could also help this person. I could also help that person. And then there's more of a chance of me getting more sales and more customers as long as I keep things general. And I talk to men and I talk to women and I talk to this age group and I talk to that age group and I talk to moms and I talk to people who aren't going to have kids and I talk. No, 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 no. When I say hyper personalization, the common thread is emotional currency are the psychographics of your ideal clients. This is something we go really deep into in my once a year offered signature program, Selling with Soul, that will soon be coming up. So you're going to want to make sure you are on my Secret Posse weekly digest email list so that you are the first to know. It is only offered once a year and you miss it, it's gone. And it's not some gimmick. You can, if you're really bored, you can scroll all the way back in my socials and see that it is once a year. We do one big blowout and we do it closer to the beginning of the year so you can profit the fuck out of the rest of the year. But we go really deep into that on there. And of course, the best adjunct to it that works along with it, the best combo is by being in the ProjectME Posse business coaching membership first. So then you already are primed for selling with soul. It's like the chef's kiss of making a shit ton of money. So what's the common thread? People's circumstances are all different, from your friends to strangers to people from all different backgrounds and age groups. But the common threads are their core desires, the things that they want in life, the things that they're frustrated by, the things that light them up, the things that they really deeply crave. That's what you're talking to. This is why I coach men. I have people who are 65 years old that come to me, and I coach 25-year-olds. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Everyone has the same common thread. Same in the Posse membership. There's hundreds of people in there, and it's so interesting, and you'll see it right away. And everyone is loving and giving and generous and supportive. There's no bullshit in there. There's no shade. It's an abundant environment where people help one another and we're honest about all the things that we go through on any given day. And we share our wins, we share our struggles, and every possible background is represented. There's at least 40 countries represented in there. And every possible age. I even think we have a 75-year-old in there. But the common theme is the same, the freedom level cash, option level cash, having it on your terms, not depending on any person, place, thing, job, or institution ever again for cash, where no one can control you because you lack the funds, where you take your control of your money story back and empower yourself. There is no better feeling on the damn planet. And that is why I created ProjectME. You're the most exceptional project of your life. It is up to you to claim it. And that cash is here, and there's no more freeing feeling. If I marry someone, if I'm friends with someone, if I attend something, you know I'm there. If you're coming on as a client, I'm accepting you as a client. I'm going to dinner with you. I'm dating you. You know I'm fucking you because I want to. There's no agenda because I don't need, I'm not there angling for the cash or someone to support me or make me some kind of money or some kind of a connection, and people can feel that, and it's so freeing. Because I also lived at a time in my life where everything had an agenda because I was in so much scarcity. Ugh, what a trapped feeling versus being absolutely expansive. So here's the side rant I promised. Influencer marketing is forecasted to become a $15 billion industry this year. So this is reshaping brand collaborations, influencer consumer relationships. This is in my multi-billion dollar clients. They actually now have segments of their marketing and advertising budget just for influencers. And I don't just mean these like mega people that seem to have like this perfect life. That's not the trend. You know what the trend is? You and me, the real people, the people who are nuts, the people who go up and down in weight, the people who haven't washed their hair in a week, the people who fed their kids frozen pizza 3 nights in a row. There's a lady on TikTok, and you can go find her. I should have pulled up her name. Hopefully, God willing, hopefully she's still alive. I think she's hysterical. I think she's 94 years old. I'm sure someone is helping her edit, but she's the one in the videos. You can't fake it. And is hysterical and has like 15 million followers. Hysterical and has major fucking brand deals. So funny. She's like, her line is, I'm going to slay while I decay, meaning like underground. She is so cute. And she puts on her rouge and her lipstick, and she's like, she has a whole thing that like an oil she uses for her. She's like, for my old crepey skin. If it works on me, it can work on anyone because I'm going to slay while I decay. She's making some serious coin. So don't be telling me I'm too fat. I'm too old. I'm out of touch. I don't know technology. I don't have this look. I don't sound this way. What they want are the people who have these more relatable looks and real raw life stuff, because those are the testimonials that people want to see. Because if you just see someone who's all pretty perfect and primed all the time and they're using this or that lotion, you're like, well, of course, she's 25. Like, of course, her skin's going to look very youthful and plump, and she's naturally a very attractive person, right? And that might work for like some consumers. But then if you see someone else, maybe me, right? And I'm using it, and you're like, well, I know Tiffany isn't 25, but I'm not sure how old she is because she's snatched. That's kind of the goal, because I shall too slay while I decay. Here's my goal. When I do die, which won't be for a long time because people live forever in my family, like forever. I'm gonna be around for a while, just so you know. It's getting really dark in here. So on my ProjectME TV on YouTube, that's why it's getting darker and darker by the moment. But that's what you get. This is the real deal here. What was I saying? Oh, my goal is that people will attend my funeral, whatever we want to call it, a burial, a funeral, a ceremony, and people will go, she's right, she did it. From the neck up, she was preserved in time. She actually did it. I'm actually serious. So focus on these things. My point is, you don't need to be an influencer, but it'd be really silly for you to not make passive income sharing some of your favorite things and having an Amazon storefront or having a TikTok shop or having your own, ebook or having your own white labeled product like a journal or I don't know, some lip balm, sweatshirts, swag, hats. Why not? Look at that. All you need is a micro slice of this pie and you'd be a millionaire. And these are the facts you can't deny. And there's more in here, but I didn't want to overwhelm you. I'm telling you what I'm focusing on, and you can make a choice to do whatever you want to do. But I'm focusing on these things because I'm going next level with this coin, with this impact and all of it, and follow along. I want you with me along the ride. So come inside the posse, ProjectME with tiffanycarter.com/ProjectME posse. It's in the show notes. It's in the description on YouTube. Come in there. There should be some new member spots left. Otherwise, you're going to need to check back. I'd say check back every 2 days and make sure you refresh the link. And as long as it doesn't say full or closed, then you're going to be able to get in. And there's some incredible bonuses that you get in there when you join that basically make your first several months free because the bonuses are high value and legit and people are obsessed with it. All right. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Don't forget to leave a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts. Tap just the 5 stars, go boop, and you can go boop on Spotify. If you don't want to take the time to write the review right now, even though that would really mean a lot to me, you can't write a review on Spotify yet. It's only on Apple Podcasts. At least do the boop. Give me 5 stars on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. This really helps the show. And it helps it when you take a screenshot of the show and you share it in social media and tag me, and spread the word. Share this episode with someone who you know will appreciate it and find it valuable. That's the abundant thing to do. That's the law of reciprocity. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.